Now welcome to this channel where we dey give now ogbonge update on wetin dey happen for Biafran territory. As the Prime Minister dey talk say the Ishmaelites are very angry on the solidarity of Biafran government with Israel. What happened on Israel on 7th October is a coordinated terrorist attack, and Biafra cannot support such. It's like we invading Sokoto state. Women and children are buyed and tell them we are fighting for Biafra freedom. There is no justification in that. Make now listen to the Prime Minister on more of these updates.
We have seen another barbarism, terrorism, and of course, planned extermination of the Jews and Israel, the people of Israel. And from the history, we will never abandon the people. What our ancestors, forefathers, and of course, our parents did for decades, centuries ago, we have come to continue in the path of truth, and nothing but truth. The people of God, we can never ever be threatened or subdued to abandon our faith, belief, and origin. We will never succumb to threat, never succumb to terrorism. We will never abandon whom we are in order to please few people. We will also never work against our own. Israel, no matter the predicament Israel is going through today, they remain part of us. And I'm here not just to uphold the true identity of the Biafra people, not just to follow the footsteps of our ancestors, but to make sure that history will remember us in due time. We have seen the paradigm shift after the recent attack against Israel on the 7th of October, terrorist attack. And that terrorist attack, whoever supported evil, not just evil, but supporting terrorism. It was a pure terrorist attack on Israel, killing innocent women and children. And there you see countries like Nigeria aiding and supporting Hamas for that terrorist attack on the 7th of October. I am not here to defend Israel on the right of Palestine to self-determination, on the right of Palestine to independence or whatever. But I'm here to stand with Israel and condemn the terrorist attack on Israel. It can never ever be accepted. It is unacceptable. Killing children, abducting women, raping them, butchering them in the street of Israel, as we witnessed on the 7th of October, will go down in the history, and those who support this evil will never have peace in their various countries. Mark it. Today, they are planning attack on Israel in Nigeria. You know, one thing about this whole politics, evil politics going around in the world today, is that many people lack information. People don't actually know what is going on around them. Like, many do not understand there is something called Israel in Nigeria. And when you make a post calling the attention on Israel and Nigeria, many people will be asking you, which one is Israel and Nigeria again? There is a serious planned attack against Israelis in Nigeria. The Israel ambassador, the Israeli embassy is under serious threat. Their life remain in imminent danger. And of course, the reason we are making this public is because whenever we expose the terrorist government of Nigeria, they will always go into panicking, and that will also truncate the plan to execute the terrorist attack against Israel in Nigeria. By this singular exposition, their camp is already in disarray because they do not know where this information and intelligence is leaking from. So the planned attack, we have actually somehow truncated it. But that does not mean that they're not going to plan and they're not going to re-strategize and come back again. We are just making this particular space today to call the attention of Israel in Nigeria and assure them that so long as we exist in Biafra land, there is a safe place for them to be evacuated to immediately if there is any attack against them in Abuja. Biafra land, the old eastern Nigeria, that is a safe place for them. We will evacuate them from Abuja within 4 hours of notice. Do not take this particular intel for granted, because it will happen. We may not be able to get the second intel when they plan the second attack. But this particular first attack, believe me, the exposition may have destroyed their intention and the intent to commit terrorism against Israel in Nigeria. And for those who don't know history, this is not the first time Nigeria government and Nigeria state are attacking people inside Nigeria on the issue of Israel and Palestine. This is not the first time. There is a history of terrorist attack whenever the conflict in the Middle East escalate. The people, the Biafrans in the northern Nigeria, have always made to pay the price of what is happening between Israel and Palestine. So when I come here to speak, I am speaking to maintain the integrity, the trust of the ancestors of the Biafra people. They have killed enough Biafrans in Nigeria whenever Israel and Palestine conflict escalate. And I want to inform all of us today that since the history of killings of Biafrans in the northern Nigeria, this year or this particular conflict is the only one in the history where Biafra has not been attacked and their businesses destroyed in the northern Nigeria. We are not going to deny who we are. And that is why it is very imperative for people to understand we can never be in one country, because they see us as the Jews. And we are the Jews. We're not denying being the Jews. And that's why we can never be part of an entity like Nigeria. And today, they use gun and the barrel of gun to force us into being one country. The message I have come to pass across to Nigeria, the terrorist state of Nigeria today, is that if any Biafra is killed this time around in the northern Nigeria, in the name of Israel is fighting Palestine, or in the name of Iran has launched attack in Israel, and any Biafra is killed in the northern Nigeria, or their business is destroyed, and people butchered as usual, they normally do, we will cut Nigeria into two. Those who understand what I mean know what I mean. We will cut Nigeria into two to start with. And those that will be the side of the southern Nigeria will be made to face the music. This is not the time You use what is happening in the Middle East to kill us in the northern Nigeria. We will continue to stand with Israel. The Jews are us, and we are the Jews. We become an inseparable, and because we find ourselves in amalgamation of Nigeria, will not make us to deny who we are. A lot of people will say that Israel doesn't need help. We have made it very open. We will offer the Israeli government, when the war goes to the ground troop, needing the ground troop, we will offer 15,000 men to Israel. The Biafra government is ready. We know that the war is still going on there, with the rockets and all that. But whenever it gets to the ground troop, when ground troop is needed, Biafra will provide 15,000 men to support Israel. A lot of people will say, you protect yourself first. We are protecting ourselves. Are you not seeing it? Have you not seen how we protect ourselves? Have you not seen that for the very first time in the history of the Islamic State of Nigeria, the people are shouting for Biafra is being declared wanted? Tag the terrorists. Have you not seen it? It means that we are fighting and also protecting ourselves. It is not easy for them to kill like they usually do. So they have seen that the new generation of Biafra are those you don't mess around with. So do not worry. If you are not a Biafran and worried about us promising 15,000 men to Israel when the time comes for the ground troop, don't worry about us. Worry about yourselves, who is being butchered in your various localities in Nigeria. Worry about yourself, whom your people are living in IDP camp in the Middle Belt, in the northern Nigeria, in the southwest. Don't worry about us. We are not in IDP camp. For the fact that Biafrans are not living in IDP camp means that we are protecting and defending ourselves very well. And today, we can boast of over 130,000 men. The Biafra Liberation Army, the Biafra Resistance Fighters. All we lack is more weapons. That's all. We will overrun Nigeria when the time comes. So do not worry about the pronouncement of 15,000 men to Israel when the time comes. The reason you have not seen the heavy impact of the Biafra forces is something that I will not share here. So if you hear us making this pronouncement, do not worry about us, especially if you are not a Biafra. Worry about your region, worry about your state, worry about your people that have been displaced by Nigeria-sponsored terrorism, that have been displaced by all the terrorists that have invaded Nigeria, and your only concern is what Biafrans are doing and how they are fighting their freedom. We are people of God, people that have covenant with God, God of Israel, God of Moses, God of Elijah. These are the people we are. So you cannot believe what we believe in. We have different belief. We have different religion. The covenant of God remains the covenant of God. So do not worry about us. Worry about yourselves that have been subdued by the Nigeria terrorism. You have been subdued by the terrorist state. You have been subdued by the terrorism of the Nigeria state. You have been subdued by the terrorist organization called Nigerian Army, Nigerian Police, and all other Nigerian security agents. They are all terrorists. You have been subdued by them. So you don't have the right to even ask questions. You don't have the right to protest. If you don't like anything they are doing, you will get killed. So we are not accepting that particular threat as subjugation or subdue. We don't accept it. You can't subdue Biafra people.
Yes, now welcome back. Now here waiting Prime Minister talk. Now the fact with that, if you subdue us, truth will always speak out, and we don't decide to speak out. Say a Biafra or Biafra. For this matter, me and go rest my case. Now thank you.